what I'm going to do today is I'm going to retrieve the most beautiful textured stone from what I think is the right-hand gully. Bring it to the museum for Archaeological Park Foundation. It has spatula marks on it. So not only do you see the texturing, the gullying, the deep gouging, let's say, on the surface of the stone, which we see all around the complex in these stones that create the terraces, the inclined terraces that spiral up the pyramids and other structures. But it also has spatula marks. It's the first time I've ever seen tool marks. Of course, we could say that the texturing itself, the gouging itself, is a tool mark, but it's kind of hard to see what kind of tool it was. It's hard to imagine what kind of tool was making this gouging. So what I'm going to do is just find this stone if I can. I made another expedition, I don't know, a year and a half ago to try to find the stone. I couldn't find it. So I'm going to go up a different gully this time and see if I can recover this beautiful textured stone with these ancient tool marks on it. Let's let the adventure begin. A beautiful blue heron just flying around. So they just laid these really thin layers of clay, sometimes thicker, sometimes thinner. Absolutely massive ridge. The hill is absolutely huge, really steep, really strong. I think the floods recently, just a few years ago here in Bosnia, took out a lot of material from the edge of this hill, from the western face of this hill. That's the eastern face of the Pyramid of the Sun. Next to it, you can't see too well, but is the Pyramid of Love. All right, so we're heading up from that trail next to the Fojnica. We're heading up the western face of Osijela Hill. There's the top of the hill. And we're just gonna see if I can retrace my steps to find a stone that I took copious photographs of, but I didn't think about bringing it to the foundation until later. We see these massive baked claystone pieces, clay, and this texturing, which has helped to be it's defined a little bit by this what looks like lichen. So it lets us see the texturing of the top, which the ancients loved to do for some reason. And this exact same texturing is on the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun. First excavation you come to, as you're walking up, you'll see the same texturing. You can see the same texturing on those stones, and I'll just insert a photo so you can see what I'm talking about. Here's another stone that's really beautiful, way too big to take, and you can see the texturing on this. Absolutely stunning, absolutely beautiful, incredible stone. Wow. So the top is textured, the bottom isn't. The sides are rather regular, so you see the kind of flat feeling of the stones on the sides, but it wasn't like a Roman square or rectangle. It's just the shapes are always a little bit odd, so you can never know what they're going to do. They like curves, they like to always have a different size for the stones for some reason. So it's almost never like a regular expected size or pattern or shape. And even the gouging is different from terrace to terrace and from structure to structure. So let's see, little by little we go up. Another beautiful stone. Interesting texturing on this guy. I mean, everywhere you look, there's texturing. It's just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. All right, so I think this is where I crossed over to the right-hand gully. Let's see if we can find that particular stone. We should be getting close fairly soon, I think. Another beautiful stone. So we're looking back down at the Fojnica Pyramid of Love, Pyramid of the Sun. Okay, we're a little further up. We're seeing some nice stones. Temple of Mother Earth, a concave structure, kind of like a satellite dish, pointing north. And the north face of the Pyramid of the Sun, we're seeing the northeast corner there. That north face is also incredibly smooth and perfectly oriented to the cosmic north. So you got to wonder what those north sides are trying to reflect and toward what. So let's look at some of these stones. Here's a nice textured stone. Here's a beautiful stone. Really amazing texturing. And you can see the inclined nature of these incredible claystone layers. This is a really thick layer. But even this layer is composed of separate layers. So you see this one layer goes all the way to there, and then there's another layer, right? Then there's another layer there, but that even this layer morphs into, let's see, doesn't know. So there's 3 separate pieces to that. Incredible. But the inclination is always striking. It's really steeply inclined into the structure. Obviously, if it's horizontal, it's strong. If it's a little bit this way on the hill, if the hill is this way and the terraces are leaning this way, then of course it's going to slip off. So horizontal is good, but this is even better. And they consistently incline their stones. And they don't just incline them, they also build them. In other words, they don't have a stone that's a right angle that's leaning in. They have a stone that's leaning in that's also this way. Amazing. Absolutely beautiful. Smart. Quartz on the edge of that, and then straight lines across. That's really rare. I've really rarely seen anything like that. Interesting. Another beautiful textured stone here. Incredible. This thing is unbelievable. You can see these little strange I don't even know what to call them. They're not really markings, they're not carvings, they're just like a little piece of clay here. It just, and they leave it there for some reason. Amazing. So as we come up, we see that the water is giving us a little bit of a show here. You can see the layers of hard baked claystone, really thin layers. So they made this huge hill mostly out of thin layers of baked claystone. Absolutely amazing. So that's where we were. Now we're going to head over to this other Pyramid of the Sun, looking quite amazing. We're going to head over to this. It's the first anything like a Roman brick I've seen, but it's not really. Not quite a Roman brick. Interesting. Let's see if we can find that particular stone. It's a little bit spiky. Strange stuff. And you can see the inclination right there really clearly of these claystone layers that are alternating with softer clay for an incredibly hard structure that will survive and has survived earthquakes through thousands, tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of years. We don't know how old this hill is. I just wanted to show you how steep this gully is. This is gully number 2. Gully number 1 is right on the other side of that little ridge, or a huge ridge, but it's absolutely massive. It's about 18, 20 feet tall. Yeah, 20 feet. And we're standing on another 20-foot one. Then gully 3 and 4 came in and made gully number 3, so we have the third one here. But I'm pretty sure that, and you can see again the inclined nature of those stones. But I'm pretty sure the stone we're looking for is right in this grassy area. I remember it in a grassy area to the left of a gully. So that's a gully. Here's a grassy area. I'm really hoping that we're going to find that stone. Right along here. Wow, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So this is water from the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun. Really good water. So from that pyramid over there on the right, a little bit of water. Nope, this isn't the stone. Still, it is a beautiful stone. It is a beautiful, beautiful stone. Not the one though. It's got the texturing, but it doesn't have the tool marks. It's gorgeous. And incredible texturing, absolutely incredible. You got the straight, rather uniform sides, rather uniform as far as angle goes, rather uniform. You can see the clay. Absolutely amazing, really beautiful. But it's not the stone, there's a little quartz calcite vein there. But we don't see the tool marks on this one, so we're going to keep going. A bit of quartz calcite. We're going to keep going across to see if we can find it over there. More texturing, amazing. So as we're climbing up, we can see the built quality of these layers. All of them inclined into the structure. Incredibly engineered. Absolutely amazing. And over there, even thicker stones inclined into the structure. So as we approach the top of Osijela Hill and we see these incredible layers, I just wanted to show you this one example of the alternation that they do. They have the hard baked clay, soft clay, hard baked clay, alternating. There's a little piece inclined into the structure. My camera's about level there. Weird texturing here. Everywhere we look, there's texturing. On one side of the stone, there's always an odd texturing. On the bottom, it'll be flat, like that guy there. That's the bottom of the stone. But let's move up a little bit and see if we can get closer. So again, my camera's about level there. You see the inclination into the structure, so strong. It looks like there might be a crack there, but then again it might be sectioning, hard to tell. Wow, absolutely amazing. I'm gonna get some photos. They're textured on one side, flat on the other. So we suspect this will be textured on the other side.